Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So we made it through half of 2020. What a ride that's been. The first couple months kind of seemed normal, and then everything went to hell for the last 3 or 4 months. And as I look at that, I'm up at our cottage now. Most of our rentals dried up for the summer. This is normally a pretty good revenue stream for us. But, you know, making lemonade when there's lemons. We're up working on the cottage, doing some updates and so on, and kind of getting it ready. We do have some rentals, but it's nice to be up here and change scenery a little bit after being locked down in the Bear Mountain house for the better part of, geez, almost 4 months. In today's video, just kind of a quick check-in to see how everybody's doing. The markets seem to have opened back up. I mean, the stock market is completely detached from the economy. Very odd times to be investing in those markets, but I mean, there's money to be made. I don't know how to do it, so I stay relatively clear of the markets other than some ETFs that I'm allowed to buy. From a business perspective, I think about all of the people that I know that were pretty uncomfortable with technology when this all started. I think I had been on 20 Zoom meetings prior to March 15th, and now I'm on 10 a week. I've updated my gear. I'm shooting this video on an M50, which is my main YouTube camera, but I've now figured out with CamLink how to plug it into Zoom. I'm using external microphone rather than the mic and video built into my MacBook Pro. Actually, things are looking pretty good. Looking back at the last 6 months, even these YouTube videos, we're getting up to, I think we're almost at 25 or 30 videos. Comfort level is really starting to get there, and the challenge I'm having now is not what to say on camera, but in what order do I want to share information. The only anxiety that I'm feeling right now is the anxiety to get information out. I feel that there's a lot of people that are struggling with what to do, and you know, they may not even have the in-person peers at their work that they would talk to, or you know, a lot of entrepreneurs, my group included, we meet for breakfast once a month or lunch maybe even weekly. That all really isn't there. My group of guys that I go to Vegas with on an annual basis, we haven't done the Vegas trip, and we've tried a couple of times to have these virtual cocktails. It doesn't really work the same, you know. In our group, there's about 10 to 12 guys, and some of us are into motorcycles and some of us are into finance. And when we're together, we'll move chair to chair, kind of musical chairs, and sit beside a particular person that we want to talk about a particular topic with. Even in a house that we rent in Vegas, you know, some of the guys might be sitting in the hot tub talking about one thing, other might be cooking something in the kitchen talking about another thing. My buddy Dan and I often go for early morning walks to talk a little bit about business. And all of those things don't really work right now. You know, we're doing the phone check-ins as we always have, but having that kind of engagement level to talk with people has basically disappeared. And so as I'm shooting these videos, I'm mindful of what do I want to cover first, you know, how to ask for a raise, negotiating skills, how to overcome, you know, sales presentations that go sideways, which I just recently had come up as of late, which will be in a near future video. But how do you deal with not only the punches that you see coming, but the ones that you don't see coming? And I think a lot of people are facing those unexpected punches, you know, on a weekly or even in some cases daily basis. And so in my mind, the anxiety that I might feel from time to time is, how do I set aside enough time to shoot videos, do interviews with my friends like Christian, that one's coming up soon, but with Dan, who's a regular, you know, some of the stuff I've done, Dave Finley, I've got his coming out next week. How do I have time to do those interviews, which I love? And interviews kind of a fancy, poshy way of describing what they are. It's conversations between two friends where we happen to let other people listen in. But how do you do those? How do you do instructional videos? And then how do you just kind of get stuff out like this that kind of aligns mindsets? A lot of us might feel like we're the only one dealing with what's going on, but it's common. And I can tell you, I'm talking to 40 business owners on a monthly basis, actually twice a month. And they're all kind of struggling. Even the, you know, the macho ones, I can tell that they're having the odd stagger step, which is unexpected, and that's totally okay. In the next video where I talk about my internet issue during arguably the largest sales presentation I had scheduled for 2020. I was mindful of the fact that, you know, the old, I think it's the Marines or one of the US military services that says 2 is 1 and 1 is none. And so you're always looking for redundancy. And in times like this, you need to have redundancy or even things in triplicate, because if it can go wrong, it does go wrong. You want to make sure that you've got backup plans in place. And for me, I thought I had tested and had everything ready to go, only for it to become a dumpster fire 3 minutes in, which I'll share a little more in, like I said, an upcoming video. But back to the point of this one, those of you that are following this channel and maybe consuming this information know that I'm totally open to hearing from you, either in the comments below or by email, on things that you might be struggling with. And what I'm going to try to do is cluster like topics with like and start to attack these videos a little more aggressively. Still trying to keep them to the 5-minute mark, but really just making sure that they're dialed in for what people need right now. Now is a great time to be of service. And I don't just mean customer service, but actually try to serve other markets as well as the markets you're currently targeting. Put a finer point on your craft. It's a great way to build champions and create kind of alliances, but as well, it's just contributing to good business being done. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.